is recording and stream starts in 3, 2, 1, and live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Point Gremlins podcast. My name is James, and over here we have Delirium or Alex. Today we have a pretty special week this week. It's a very competitive week. A lot of competitive news comes out. Not a whole lot of crazy happenings when it comes to at-week iCombat stuff, but a lot of interesting news has come out. Just on, let me think, Friday or Saturday, we had a big Facebook Live revealing a bunch of information that we can come around for the future of iCombat. You want to go ahead and riddle those out for us?
Yeah, so obviously the big one is a tournament coming up in July. Is kind of the big elephant in the room news we got, which we'll be talking about a little bit later in the cast. And the other one is kind of talking more about leagues, I believe, right?
Yeah, leagues, and the one that's like not so close to the regulars' opinion, but it's close to my heart is gonna be the boot camp sessions too. I want to talk about those.
Yep.
Those are cool. So let's go ahead and get this in order. First of all, like on the Discord, for example, I've just kind of made as a joke that let's rank every single regular, right? And so what we did is I just made a little like tier maker thing and try and list every single regular I can think of, release the ones that we have on the player sides in the lobby, and everyone just kind of like started doing it. It was cool. Everyone has like their opinions listed out, or at least some of the people that are willing to actually make them. Some people sent them to me and said, "Don't post this anywhere, but these are my opinions for it," and I'll show you what I did with those in a minute.
I didn't know that.
Didn't want to share. Yeah, we had some. Those
reasonable.
Cool.
Yeah, so we've got, what, like 15 of them at this point?
Yeah, something like that. 15, 17, like that. I was surprised. It kind of stings the first time you see one, but once you see the first one, it's like, okay, yeah, no, that's about where I belong. Yo, so someone put me higher than I thought I was this time? Cool. Glue Eaters thinks I'm crazy? I don't think so. That's cool. It's one feeling the first time you see them, but the rest of them, they're fun to look at, and you can make your own and stuff. If you still want to make them, still go for it. It's not like it's a limited time offer.
Yeah, I haven't had the same reaction to them, but I don't know.
Well, that's mine, right? Like I think I'm myself as like a C category player, and everyone's putting me in C. It's like, okay, all right, that's what I thought I was, but then seeing everyone else thinking is like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And then some people put me in B, and it's cool. But like for you, it's like since you're one of the higher up players, everyone's placing you in S. Maybe it feels different when someone places you in A or something like that. Do you have that feeling at all?
I get it. Especially lately, I haven't been playing very well, so it's reasonable.
I don't know. Some players have ranked in the minds of other people like way higher than people, and some people rank lower than I thought they would be. And like it's interesting to see what everyone else thinks everyone else is, and then you guys complain about the teens anyways.
Right.
It's like, of course you guys do. You don't know what everyone's skill levels are, apparently. Skull Taker. I'm playing.
Yeah, his was wild. That one was wild.
That was a cool list. I think there was some really good choices in that one, to be fair. But that one was the coolest one. Right?
I'm really hoping he comes in this next weekend so I can talk to him about his tier list a little bit, because I just gotta hear the thought process behind some of them. I won't disagree until I hear it, but dang.
The Discord has been popping off this weekend. There's like so many people have joined, and so many people have been talking just basically because of those tier lists, and it just kind of like sparked. And so people talk inside of it, people react inside of it, people get in fights about it. It's cool. It's a growing little community we made on accident.
Yeah, so absolutely, if you want to check out all the tier lists, or all the ones that are public tier lists, just join the Discord. The link to it is right below in the Twitch description, and then we've got a whole channel dedicated to those tier lists, as well as we have James made an average top 10 based off of all those tier lists, which is kind of cool to look at too.
Yeah, that one, it was pretty meticulous to make. I just kind of made a little notepad and then just counted that every single time. I treat it like as votes. Every single time someone was put in the top 10 category or the top 10 spots, if you ordered them right, I would just give you a little vote. And then some people got a certain amount of votes, and so the list ended up being, what was it? So
I've got it right here. Going down the top 10 list, the one that you just updated, I believe, is first we have Sniper 17. Second is myself. Third, Frog Champ. Fourth, Mac 20. Fifth, Quicks. Sixth, Live for the Moment. Seventh is Scumbag Lenny. Number 8 is Specs. Ninth is The Milkman. And 10th is Glue Eater.
That's like the people's pick of the top 10 players. I don't know if it's actually the top 10 players, what players are actually in the top, but that's what everyone thinks is the top players. And I think it's pretty accurate, to be fair. There are some it's like, whoa, that one's really high, or man, that one could be higher, stuff like that. But there was at one point when I was counting, there's like the top 3 players, right? There's Sniper 17, there's you, Delirium, and then there's Frogman, Frog Champ.
Yeah.
And you guys were tied for first place a couple times. So what I had to do is what those of you that actually ordered your lists, whatever ones would put them in first. So sometimes Frog Champ would be put in first, sometimes Cyber 17 would be put in first. Whatever one was put in front more, got more votes in that subcategory. It was like a tiebreaker. That happened a couple times. It happened with Mac and Live for the Moment. That happened with Milkman and Glue Eater. So those are the lists that came to. It's cool. It's a cool little list.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was really interesting to see a lot of them. I think for the most part, they're pretty consistent. There's a few oddballs out there, especially when people don't recognize what someone's profile picture is or anything like that. Then you get some pretty wild placements.
Yo, I thought that was Skull Taker. No, that one's Skull Taker. No, wait. The one that isn't Skull Taker is actually Skull Taker? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Derek. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's really what I have for those. That's just a little thing that you guys want to check out more in detail. If you want to look at where everyone thinks you stand in the Discord, go for it. Scroll on down and join the Discord right now. Some people are in here that I'm glad we actually joined. IG72 just joined a couple minutes ago, so that's cool. We could talk with Sam, everyone's favorite.
Yeah, we've got, I think, a couple North Carolina guys, at least three now.
Hans and Snowman, and I haven't got Smiles yet, but he'll join sometime. I'll get Smiles.
And then Sam just joined, so yeah, I think that's 3.
Cool. What else we got? Some easy stuff, right? Where do you want to go? Which direction you want to go in?
I was going to take us right to leagues.
It's cool. All right. Take us off.
Yeah, so leagues should be starting, I think, next week. I hope. I think the plan is not this weekend, but the weekend after. And the plan is, I believe, we're still finalizing a lot of the details, but kind of the generalized plan for now is we're going to get rid of the 9 p.m. private session on Sunday nights and replace that with league nights. And I don't know if we're doing it bi-weekly, monthly, how we're going to do it, but currently that is the plan, is Sunday night leagues.
It's rough, right? Because everyone wants to do leagues. Everyone wants more competitive laser tag action, but it's so hard to schedule a day where we get the most people around it. And it's looking like Sunday's it. But we're not going to get everyone that we want, especially like the big top players. Even like, I don't know. The point is that it's going to be hard to schedule that one around. The big thing about Sundays, though, is that we're going to have like 2 weird sessions going to be on it. So it'll be cool. We'll get there, though. That one's cool.
Yeah, and I think the plan, at least for leagues, is to do it in a more competitive fashion. So I think historically doing all regular sessions and where people are supposed to just have fun have never worked out well. Like literally never worked out well. It's never been fun. So the plan is to go into it with a competitive mindset, a very public session tournament-esque mindset, and play a lot of the more competitive games. I think at the beginning of the day, what we're going to do is just line up all the players, select captains from that week, and just have them each draft a team, and then we'll just throw them into a big competitive session. I think the plan is maybe to do a 2-hour session instead of your normal hour-and-a-half session. Pricing for this is going to be the standard $20. That is the elite member discount is the $20. Otherwise, I believe it's $31.50.
I think what's going to happen here is that when we get our first one, it's going to be a rush show. It's going to be a rush show for a couple reasons. Like, we're not really sure what we're doing. You guys are going to be the beta test for it in the first place, a good guinea pig. Second of all, someone's going to get their feelings hurt somewhere along the line, but I think it's only going to sting the first time, just like these tier lists did. And that'll be over with. Doing this for the sport is just the best direction we can go in, getting more competitiveness into it. I like sportsmanship and competitiveness. I think I'm finally leading towards that with a little bit of salt and a little bit of spice every once in a while. But that's, I think, what we need, and I think it's a great step to go into. The more of that we get, the better, the more we can develop the sport. I don't want to stick around just having laser tag just happen in a family event and slaughtering new people and making the sport about how many times you can slaughter the new person walking through the doorway. I want to rank regulars based off of how well they could do against other regulars. And maybe these tier lists will change because of it. Maybe Specs is a little bit higher or lower because he's not as good at killing Skull Taker, but he's better at, I don't know. First the names I can come up with.
Yeah, and it was a big weekend for the competitive scene, I guess. The fact that leagues are coming again, we're trying them again, different approach this time. Hopefully, get a lot more people interested. Now that we have the podcast too, we get news out better as well with the Facebook Lives, as well as the tournament being announced, which we'll discuss later. Just two things that are really cool to see for the competitive crowd.
It hasn't been discussed at all, but what I'd like to see is what I would like to do is to live stream all of them. Thanks, phone, for going off there. Appreciate it. Live stream all of them and cast them all as well. Maybe they need me sometimes to run ice, or maybe they need me sometimes to do the field judging. But that's what I prefer to do, and that's the direction I want to be in. That's the part of the wheel I want to be behind for these. And this is going to be a huge start. Big historic day for it once that starts.
Yeah, I think we're going to have just one employee, really. I don't know that there's going to be team leaders for these. It depends on the game modes we play and stuff like that. But I think for the most part, all employees should have a pretty easy time getting into these sessions if they want to. I know that me and Damien as manager will probably make sure that the players that want to get in can, even if that means we can't play it. I'll get to play it plenty.
It sounds like we're locking out certain game modes if we're not doing certain team leaders. What game modes lock out? Well,
it's just the certain ones that it's just like someone needs to follow the backpack, someone needs to follow, like, unfortunately games like Infiltration might be harder to do if we don't have team leaders. Games like UBL might be a little bit harder to do, but still doable. The thing is, with all the regulars on the field, the only thing that we would need team leaders for is like the tough calls with Infiltration and announcing body on the move and stuff like that.
I don't think we even need to announce body on the move for them. I think that's just like a courtesy we do for public sessions. I think it could just be, we know the body's moving. We know they got in there somehow. If the person happens to be alive and they run back, they can shout it out. You just can't shout it out when you're dead.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be just a different rule for tournament or for competitive sessions.
It's all stuff that we've got to sit down. I know I'm supposed to be sitting down with Jeremy, my dad, later, and Damien as well to figure out kind of more of the rules and intricacies that we're going to have with leagues.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, I know I'm not going to be a part of that meeting, but eventually I'm going to hear about it, and it's going to be good. I want to put every single little bit of sense I can get into it. Whatever I can do. Be cool. We have a bunch of people that were interested in the league's channel. If you guys are still interested or have some change of plans, if Sunday works out for you, Sunday it doesn't, leave a little note in the league's channel so I can look at it all and throw it at Jeremy and Gilly later. Maybe we can get some more organization around it.
Yeah, and like I said, there's nothing that's finalized with the dates, the times, the game modes, or anything yet. So if you have certain things that you really want to see in leagues, or as well as like Sunday night doesn't work for you, if we can come up with a better time, that's fine with us too. Just put that in the Discord that we have here, and we can at least factor that in.
I want to see Safecracker placed in this, so everyone should vote for Safecracker in the league's channel. What game? Like, that'd be cool. If we can have them vote for what game modes they want to play beforehand, instead of us picking them. Whatever. Maybe then those pick Borg and Hive or something. That sounds really dumb.
Yeah, it's supposed to be competitive, so I think the general consensus so far has been just to play tournament game modes.
Okay, sure. Is Skull Taker keeps showing up? Is Safecracker a tournament game mode?
I don't think it will be.
No, I don't think so either. The problem with that game is that following the two individual glow sticks, I mean, we want trying to make as little calls as possible, but I think it's a great game to be competitive in, but it's just hard unless you have really good eyes.
Right.
Maybe I'll stick some cameras near the doorways.
Well, it's not like we can visit footage after the fact, because we'd have to restart the whole mission just to look at footage. That doesn't really work. It's not like football or baseball where it's like a play-by-play sort of thing. It's all or nothing with ours.
Yeah. Always. Specifically on that Sunday as well, if it does decide to be Sunday. So some league news for you. There's supposed to be these boot camp sessions. So if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably not going to get into these boot camp sessions.
None
I
of you
guess
will.
you can watch them if you want. You're not going to have very interesting time. You might get frustrated more often.
Stay out, idiots.
Get out. First time I can say that to you guys. The point is for those is that's going to be level 20 and under. So if you don't know already, level 20 is where you unlock legendary. So that's like the artificial whatever level you can choose when your account like becomes official, I guess. That's when the cutoff is. So you pass level 20, no more.
Yeah, and that's if your main account is past level 20. If you make a new account to swipe in for one of those, I won't be able to figure it out right away, but when you try and put on gear, I'm going to kick you out of the session, and I'm not going to give you your money back. So don't do it.
You already got one of them. You already got some scoundrel that tried to get in. I'm not going to say who it was, but nope.
He didn't try to get in. It was a move reservation, but...
Oh, he didn't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no one's tried to get in yet, so good job, guys. Yeah, that's going to be really cool. The point of those, I think we discussed them in the past, is to get some people's foot in the door instead of walking in and getting destroyed by you or Zach.
Yeah, we've gotten numerous. We send out the surveys at the end of every session, which, by the way, you should all be filling out. After we send you surveys, give your team leader shout-outs. Do that. We send those out, and like the number one thing we always get back is that the new players would like to not have to play with regulars, and this is kind of what we're going to start doing. Is Sunday mornings is boot camp, no regulars, only new players.
Yeah, we don't want to get like literally there was a review. I'm sure you heard about it from Zach already that they don't want to be killed by the Michael Jordan of laser tag, which arguably he could be. Isn't the point. But you guys just demolish these guys whenever they walk in, and they don't have any fun unless it's real. But they know it could be fun when they're telling us they can be. They're telling us it can be fun, but it wasn't as fun as it could have been because they're just getting demolished the whole time. So this is the awesome material. All it takes is to kick you guys out. One session.
Yep.
What time was this session for again?
1:30 on Sundays.
1:30 on Sundays. So the day starts with all newbies and the most boring session for team leaders and anyone else watching it. Maybe you can give some tips to the new players if you happen to be an employee on the field. Maybe if you're on the balcony, you can do some shouting. That'd be funny. And then it ends with the most competitive day session in the leagues. That's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah, now that they have their own session, you don't have to feel bad about killing them during the public sessions. That's not true, but you can think of it that way.
Well, hopefully some of them will like train from it. Maybe some of them. What I'm afraid of is that they're going to stick to it. They're going to just stick into the boot camp sessions and never actually leave them. Like this is the only time I can actually get into it. Like think about it. If you're playing like a competitive game online, and you're playing and your rank slowly goes up over time, you're not really learning against anyone that's better than you. That's like the fastest way to learn, right? Is to watch somebody that's better than you play. If you're not actually ever going to do that, then you learn so slowly, and you actually never actually get good. And you're just stuck in the lower ranks of the skill floor.
Yeah, and I mean, I think like at most they're going to get 4 boot camp sessions before they're kicked out of there. Rank 20 comes up pretty quick. I mean, it takes, I think, only 1,000 points to rank up from like level 1 through 5, and then like 2,000 for the rest. So
your averages might be out of whack though, because I imagine these sessions are going to be kind of low point values. They're not going to get a whole lot of kills. They're just going to kind of run each other and die over and over again whenever they hit a doorway.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised. A new player in a public session where they're getting shelled will normally end the session at rank 3. So in a new session where they're not getting just shelled, they might end closer to 4 or 5.
Oh, if they are getting shelled and it ends at 3.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. So maybe they actually we'll do testing and look at it closer. I want to see every little bit of stat we can get for this, because this is going to be exciting stuff.
A new player who does like absolutely nothing through one round will get 200 points. And that's like 0 kills, dying 100 times, not shooting a 2, they will get 200 points. And I mean, they play 8 missions, so it's at least 1 rank up per session.
And the fact that for so long that's been acceptable, it sucks. For me, just thinking about it, right? Like, imagine, like, you guys have seen it. After some sessions where it's like a 200 kill session or something, You look down at the bottom of the leaderboard and you see that person with a 0.16.
No one ever pays attention to that poor guy. There's normally one person that's got either 0 kills and a 0 KDR, or like 1 kill and like a .01.
They're silently furious and they don't want to say anything about it.
Half the time it's the child that doesn't know what's happening. Or they just quit playing.
Sometimes it's not, which is whack.
So we were hoping to have Jeremy in here to talk about the tournament, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it since I know he has class today.
Well, he can join in while we start to talk about it. So I guess like the big topic for this week is just going to be that tournament.
Yeah.
Right. So again, what day was it? The 23rd of what month?
23rd of July is the next tournament. And
July.
This does not necessarily mean it's the one tournament for the year, so that doesn't mean that after July there's not going to be another tournament for the rest of 2022. I think there's no final plan on this yet, but the plan going forwards is to do 2 tournaments a year now. So you'll get your biannual tournaments.
That's going to be cool. And we know that from CMP that they did a lot more tournaments. I think they said like 5 or 6.
I believe it was 4. I think it was a quarterly tournament, and that they didn't start doing that until later.
Tournaments could be so. There's more tournaments could be so cool.
Yeah, I certainly am excited. It's going to be, the thing about tournaments is they're very long days, and by the end of it, I don't really care what happens. I just want to go home. But
yeah, there is like a tournament burnout you get.
Yes.
We definitely felt it there. You noticed that one, right? You were so interested for the tournament beforehand. Before the tournament even started, I was about ready for it to be over with. It just turned into a job at that point for me.
Did not care that I lost in Sniper. Didn't care. I was like, oh, I get to be done. Fine by me. Oh, he's here.
Yo, on time.
He found it. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy has arrived. It looks like he's still figuring out. There he is.
No, I was just trying to get out of class.
Yeah, we know you're coming from there. So
what are we talking about?
We just started talking about the tournament. We haven't talked any details about it besides the date.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we moved it up this year for 2 reasons. One, player-wise, it seemed to be that several outside, how do I say this? Several players were saying they couldn't make it, that wanted to make it because of they're in retail, and retail locks down when you can go on vacation. Sorry, I'm trying to get out of this room where I'm at. So with the retail locks down, when they can take PTO, vacation, or whatever days off. So in order for us to be able to try and get a few more people in, we decided to bump it up. Another one was just purely business-wise because it kind of helps our summer numbers. But also, summer gives more opportunities for people to take vacation if they decide to want to visit and vacation in good old Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Yay. But just more opportunity, trying to give people more opportunity to come out and play the tournament. Both years that we've had it, the numbers have gone up from the first year. This last year went up to same. We're hoping to be able to get it up to really good numbers again this year. Sorry, I'm out of that class. And then we think if the numbers do like they did last year, we'll probably end up at 6-man teams this year instead of 5, which doing the round robin makes things much easier than an odd number of teams. So, yeah. So
I like it. So I'll go ahead and sling some questions at you. So I think you mentioned to me that it had the same name as last year. So last year it was called Fight for the Crown.
Fight for the Crown.
You just said
yeah, we
the
thought
same title. Go for it.
Yeah. So the first year was obviously had its reason. It was the pandemic. So it kind of made sense, and it actually worked out really well. And then last year we kind of put it up for a vote within our staff, and actually Alex's name got voted on, and that was what it ended up becoming, was Fight for the Crown. And instead of trying to do the whole thing again, most of us actually really liked the name. Gilly and myself, We all thought it worked really well. The logo came out awesome for the tournament. Being that it's in July this year, the colors are going to be red, white, and blue. So I think that'll really help. Just be kind of it'll be the same logo, but it'll be different colored. Changed up a little bit. So I think that'll make it better. Right now, it'll be the same format. We're kind of tossing around the idea of starting it a little bit earlier than we did last year. I may fade on you guys in a minute up the road here. Is kind of a bad spot. Sorry if I do. There's the only reason we say that is because if we end up with that much more teams, we already started it earlier than we did the previous year. So instead of, I think, 6, we went to 4:30 or something or whatever. We bumped it up earlier this second one.
Yeah.
And if we end up with more teams, we obviously need more time to play. And we still ended at, I think, Alex, tell me if I'm wrong, James, I think we still ended in the 12 o'clock time frame, something like that, 12:30.
It was just past 12, yeah.
Yeah. So, obviously, most people have been playing all day. It gets really hard on the guys who play a mission and then don't play for 30 minutes again until their next one while we go through the round robins and stuff. And then some guys go back to back. Alex, I think your team did that.
Yeah, a couple times.
So it's definitely tough. One thing I thought was really cool is a lot of people have expressed that they'd like Gilly and I to be able to play. And as much as I would love to, and I'm no longer the player I used to be, but I know I'm still decent. I think it'd be fun to do. I want to avoid any of that stigma. So everybody that says, "Oh, you guys should play." One, we don't have enough staff if we play to judge the tournament or run the tournament.
True.
But two, we just want to keep away the stigma. Oh, Gilly's team wins. Oh, yeah, he's the owner. Of course his team wins. It's just avoiding that. Just try to make sure it looks fair across the board. It's already enough that Gilly and I worry about, Alex is Gilly's kid, my kids are playing it. We already worry about that. And for the people who say, oh, their kids do this and that, it's not what it is. Our kids like playing laser tag. Alex likes playing laser tag. We enjoy watching our kids play laser tag and watch them go for it. So, but yeah, game mode. I know, James, you had mentioned about adding a safecracker game, and we actually went through this last year when we changed up a couple of the games for the second annual tournament. And forgive me, I don't remember what we changed from the first year. I know it was only 1 or 2 games, Alex, if you happen to remember.
It was supply grab got moved, and we put in. Ooh, I'm forgetting. Rush. We put in Rush.
Right. Yeah, and the whole object of that, and Leanne actually brought this up as a good point when she was here, is we were trying to eliminate any of the judgment calls because the first year there was a call made because a ref was on the radio that cost a team their place in the tournament. Yep. And it sucked. It happened. It's one of those human errors. It just happens. And so we're trying to eliminate as many human errors as possible. Whether I say you got 4 crates first, Gilly says you get 4 crates first, or no, he dropped the body here, bring it back 2 feet. We're trying to eliminate any of that. So, if that answers that question, James, when you brought up that, I do like games like that. I like supply grab. I like your game. Freaking safecracker, or backpack espionage. But the problem is that there is that human error where a judge could make a mistake or not see something fast enough. And I think if the more games we can do, the better. Where a judge doesn't have to make a call, if that makes sense.
Yeah, unfortunately, the field is just built in a certain way where it's hard to keep eyes on every single thing at once. There's so many walls and different doors and things that team leaders just can't be everywhere and see everything.
Yeah.
So, I want more cameras on the field, and 2, that's just something to be said.
Well, and the thing is we actually have some good cameras, but they're high, so it's hard to see some things. And then to go back and do recall is really just not time efficient for what we have.
No, it's not feasible.
We do add that third judge when we do the missions. And usually when it's a game where there's a lot of movement, we try to put that third judge up top so they can kind of see what's going on. So we do try and spread it out. But, we just try to make it as even as we can and take out as much human error as we can. There's already enough errors between you start talking about ice, the streaming and everything else. We just try to make it as easy as possible.
Yeah, no, I agree with that standpoint 100%. I think everything that is done by ice, all the game modes that are done by ice should be some of the game modes we consider, because they're just eliminate any of that risk.
Right. And that's one of the, and speaking of ice, I actually have a new ice computer. That is, we'll call it a baller laptop. It's just, this thing is a very powerful laptop that I think will do really well, but there's a bug in playing some of the sounds right now. I've got corporate looking at it. They can't figure it out. It'll play all the games, does everything it's supposed to do, but like go, it won't say the word go. It makes no sense to me. You can play that sound file on the computer, but ice won't play it. So my thought is, as most people who hopefully are listening and you guys have seen is on the stream, it gets real choppy, real laggy. All that stuff happens because we're trying to run the Twitch stream, catching 5-6 cameras on top of running ice, on top of somebody streaming, talking, commentating. So I think if we just have a much better computer running, I think we'll actually be okay. What we really would like to do, obviously, is use a full separate computer to do the cast and the stream. I think that would eliminate 100% of that lag for either ice or the stream. But unfortunately, the way that ice casts the play screen, I forget what we want to call it, but the score screen, you can't capture that on an external computer.
Right.
So that's where the hard part comes in. So I'm talking to corporate. They were supposed to let me know a way that they did it a couple of tournaments where they actually took the overlay and put it over the announcers. So if we can get that sorted out, we've got some time. I'm going to try and get that working this year and see if that works. So I don't know if James, if you were planning on announcing again this year or not, but whoever's announcing, I'm hoping we can get that going.
Yeah, that was going to be, I think that also, just like making the sport more online and showing more of that through a Twitch stream is going to be another way to just jump this thing up further and further and further. We know it has something great here. Why not just do it? And like, it's pretty doable, right? I think what we just really need to do is have that computer just mirror that specific screen onto some other screen somewhere and capture that screen. But yeah,
agreed.
We did it for the 2016 tournament in Waukesha. So
yeah, we did it, and they also did it for 2015 in Madison was the first one, and it works great. And he actually told me, yeah, we just run this. I'm like, okay, well, help me out. Let's do that. Because it's not only in our working with corporate, it not only benefits what you guys are seeing as players, and we want more players and more tournaments popping up and more live streaming of laser tag. Hell, if they can stream tag, we could stream laser tag.
Yeah, they made that sport look really good. Ours, we know, looks better.
Right, exactly. So if we can just get that with us promoting it that way, it helps the corporate guys sell more gear, open more fields. So that's why it's, usually they do try and help. So I'm going to work on that with them for this next one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really, I think Waukesha specifically is like the heart right now of tactical laser tag, I guess it is. And this has been no better of a place to just, I don't know, catapult this thing. And we're in no better spot to do it. Because look at all the people that are watching right now. Look at people that are in the Discord. Look at me people that are watch the my previous archives video and us live when we had the tournament. We have a lot of fans for it. And doing more tournaments and more online stuff is just going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah. And I think if that was part of the goal with moving it to July, because, the North Carolina guys, they're coming out. They always come out. They're super amazing guys. They're so much fun. I know one of the fields, their primary concern, at least what I've been told, is that they want to bring their own team. And that was North Carolina's opinion when they first came out. But they actually told us at the end of the tournament, hey, thank you. We know we wouldn't have won as a team against an all Waukesha-based team. And could a team come in and get lucky and beat one of our teams at a tournament? Maybe. Anything's possible. But and I'm not saying the other teams would be bad at all. They're all going to be good players. It's just a fact we know our field better. We know the nooks and crannies, and it's just the way it is. I mean, all the North Carolina guys, they play for a week before, and they play a lot, and they try to learn everything they can about the way the field is set up, because I think we set the field up 2 weeks prior to the tournament, to what the tournament field was going to be. It was either a week or 2 weeks. I can't remember. So we wanted to give everybody. We wanted to give everybody ample opportunity to play on, practice what they were going to be playing on. It's only fair. Any other sport, they practice on the same courts, they practice on the same tracks. So it's only fair to give everybody practice on what they're going to be competing on.
Yeah, a fair one too. So like this last time we just had like 1 week before the tournament, and it's like, all right, fresh taste, new windows are open and new stuff's moved around. We did some crazy stuff. Take a look around us what we changed, and it gave everyone a very even chance to do it. And we saw in that first couple practice sessions where Hans and IG-11, Oxygen, and 72 were and Camden were just doing super, super well on the field just because they have that muscle memory from North Carolina, and they had the ample time to practice with it. It sucks that some of the O'Fallon guys didn't get to come and play, because I've heard some really good things about Phillip and Wax and some of the other players that are there. I was kind of disappointed because, I don't know who was talking to, who was your guy, Alex?
Brady, be ready.
Brady, thank you. The way he found out, he was on his way back from vacation, like the night of the cutoff. And he's like, yeah, well, I'll get everybody to sign up this week. And whoever was talking to him was like, no, it's tonight. And what was upsetting is I emailed every owner of the bigger fields and said, hey, here's our sheet. Here's the tournament information. They didn't even tell them at their field. Didn't even say nothing. And I know a couple of the other fields put it out there. They published it on their I don't know, wherever you want, because they published it indoors for their people. Hey guys, this field out here is doing, if you're interested. There was interest, but one was the team thing and one was a lot of these guys were retail and they just couldn't get the time off. So I'm hoping the July time frame this year will give a lot more people the opportunity to come out and play.
Yeah, it's not going to get everyone, but it's going to get a darn lot more people. I want to see more.
I agree.
Who'd we all have? We had one person from O'Fallon, 5 or 6 from North Carolina.
6? Was it 5 or 6?
It was 5-4 technically because Hans couldn't come.
Oh, that's right. Hans got sick the day before.
Yep.
He's there in spirit.
He was there in spirit.
I think that was the only 2 fields, unless you want to count Chicago and Madison, unless we've adopted them yet.
I say we've adopted them, but if you say that to them, they tell you no. So they're the player. They can say they're going to have their home field. Just like Southern California will always be my home. Never going back there. Just like those guys are never going back to Chicago or Madison. That's still their original home fields, and I'll respect that. So
you're never going
There's still
back.
Madison players in my heart. I think they all.
I'm not.
They play differently.
Yeah, they definitely do, and that's what's funny is. So I think I've played 12. I think it's 12 different fields now. Or 10 or 12, and every field just is different, completely different. It's just it's funny when you show up at different fields and just watch how people play and see what they do. It's really interesting. I usually show up, play on some stupid account the first session, then now the field works now, then I'll swipe in on my card and go play how I want to play. But I encourage everybody, and I know it's not the cheapest thing to travel and go and do things, but man, get out of Wisconsin, first of all. Go experience some things. And go check out some other fields. And it just gives you a different perspective, and it teaches you to add some more skill to your game. You learn different things, and you learn how to do things differently. So yeah. We went off the path a little bit. Sorry about that. But yeah, back to the tournament. Yeah, we'll do the same, just kind of the same breakdown. The field will be set up either a week or 2 weeks before this. I think the same games, but Gilly and I are going to go over that in the next week or two. Alex and Damien will have some input into that. Well, actually, they may not. I forgot we took them out of that last year because they plan on playing. They can't have input. Was what we did last year. So if you were playing, you didn't get to have input into it. So I don't want anybody to think that Alex or Damien has a lead up on anything. But we'll have to check with Damien. He expressed both ways. He may or may not play. So I'll be kind of sad not to have Damien in a tournament. But
he's a huge player that not having part of the tournament. I didn't know he was considering not playing. Well,
he thinks he's not going to be a captain. He will be.
Yeah, everyone.
Well, not if he says he doesn't want to be eligible. Because remember, that's actually a good lead to that part. The same when everybody signs up, they're going to get asked, "Do you want to be a captain? Do you want to be eligible to be a captain?" And then we'll do the same thing like we did last year. We'll do the live voting. I think we did it for 24 hours. they'll vote for 24 hours, or maybe it was a day. I don't know. It wasn't long. It was made no more than a day.
It's 24 hours.
Yeah. So we'll turn on the voting, and where it ends up, it ends up. If you chose not to be a captain, then hey, you're not going to be on that list. So
We were one vote off Nate last year. Nate was so close.
Yeah, we were all sitting around the computer watching the votes come in, and we were all just kind of, the last, 3 captains were so close in votes. 3 or 4 captains were very close in votes. So it was interesting to watch the votes come in, and that's always kind of for me, and I know James is something you like too, it shows what kind of an impression certain players make for different reasons why they're being voted. Some personality, some like, hell no, I don't want him to be able to be drafted by another good captain. So there's the different strategies like that I thought were really cool, just to see why people, and of course I asked people later on, like, just curious, why, because I could see who voted for who. Just the system allows me to see who voted and for what. And I just would kind of grab a few people, just curious, what was your thinking in doing that? Just trying to learn more about how we do things. So it was kind of neat to hear some of the responses from that.
Yeah, the way the regulars think about some things are really kind of, they think in ways that I don't normally think they would. Sometimes they go in one direction. Sometimes they have a lot more thought put into this than they want to be. Like, I'm not sure what the max prize pool was for winning the tournament last year, but I can't imagine there's something like to live off of, right? Like a huge amount of money.
Oh, no, not at all. It was, I think first place was it was
750. It was 750.
750, yeah, 750. So you basically, I think you doubled your money back or something, essentially, something like that. A little bit more than that. So yeah, you're not going out to big hibachi dinner or anything with it.
But they fought for those boasting rights in the last year's tournament.
Oh, 100%. The final games were just, holy crap. Everybody gave it their all. It was great. I mean, no team I saw slacked, being on the field for that many hours straight, watching everybody. I didn't see any team slack or give up. Everybody gave it their all, and that was awesome. Because, sometimes a team will know, okay, I'm not winning this, but I'm not going to be last or whatever. So they fought as hard as they could. And I thought that was awesome. And that's what it's about. We just want everybody to come out, have a good time, and give it their all. And you let the dice land where they land.
Do we know how much fun it's going to be, or does that depend on how many players are in the tournament?
So, not that it matters to most of you guys, but we lose money on the tournaments. We don't make money on the tournaments. So right now we'll stay at the same pool of money, 750 and then 375 or something. I can't remember, or something like that. But if we end up with a large amount of signups, like I'm hoping for this year, then we will definitely look at increasing it if we can. It's just going to depend on how many people sign up.
So about sign up then, if I wanted to sign up for the tournament right now, could I go on and go to July 23rd?
You cannot. I will have that built. I would say we'll probably have it built tomorrow, but at a minimum, at the latest, it'll be up and ready Saturday for people to sign up and vote. So it'll be exactly the same as before. $60 for elite members, $75 for non-elite members. Obviously, a lot of people are going to wait till they're closer to pay that kind of money, because it's not just $5. Here you go, and it's several months out. So I get it. The people who will sign up are people who are elite members now, obviously, because they know if anybody does sign up now, it'll be elite members now because they know they're going to play it. I will have the session built and everything else blocked off by, like I said, by Saturday afternoon at the latest.
Now, who will I sponsor this year? Maybe it'll be Chief again.
This is where everybody should start hitting up James. James, buddy, pal.
I like to pick one player that's I think has grown a lot when they first started playing. I think that's going to be my thing now. I'm going to sponsor one person, and maybe you'll be the captain, and you'll do really well because you're sponsored by me. I'm a lucky person.
That'd be kind of cool. Was there anything else, Alex? You were heading down that line of signups or anything? I didn't want to pull away from it.
I don't think so. Not off the top of my head, no.
Yeah, I think, and there is a caveat. You had to be you had to be a rank minimum 5 last year. I think we said, was it 10? 5 or 10?
I think it was 10.
Yeah, I think I think I heard you guys as I was getting on. It's that's 4 or 5 sessions worst if you just absolutely get dominated. It's that's 5 sessions.
Yeah.
You can get to level 10 just by playing 5 sessions. So yeah, that'll be the same thing for that. Just got to be the right rank. Yeah, that's all I can really think of off the top of my head.
That's all right. If
Okay.
anyone has any more questions about it, I'm sure you could post something in the general chat of the Discord. Maybe I'll make another channel for just the tournament stuff. You can post your tournament questions there,
Oh, I've
and
got
then anyone
so
can
many
answer them that knows
channels.
them. Yeah, we need more, and more people talking
Oh,
about them.
Jesus. More channels.
Laser tag of this sport is going to be huge one day, and right now
I
we're at the center of it.
I really hope you're right. That's what I've been trying to do that for a long time. I think what Gilly and I have done the past 2 years now, I think is getting there. I think the stream will definitely help if I can just figure out the better way to get that stream cleaner. I think that will definitely help.
I
At least get more people interested.
always get stuck between so many things when the tournament comes up because I have to play, but I also want to cast. I also kind of want to do some camera work. I also there's so many things I want to do, but I have to play, so I can't do those.
Yeah.
You should just do all
Yep.
three.
No.
Yeah, that's all we need is a couple of our top players out. One's doing casting and one's doing judging.
Yeah.
No thanks. We don't.
Oh my god, how to make a team lose?
Yeah.
Before it even starts.
No, but I'm real excited about this year, as always. Getting it moved up, I think we'll definitely get some more players involved. I know you guys have more connections now with the outside players, being that you guys have played, both Michigan and Missouri. So I'm looking forward to the, players talking to players. I definitely will be emailing once the documentation is built, which should be done about a week or two. They're just going to freshen it up. We had some comments on the font that was used last year, so we're going to just change a few things. Yeah, people were saying it was kind of hard to read because everybody reads everything on their freaking phone instead of on a computer screen. It looked fine. On the phone, it looked kind of crunched and hard for people to read, and pretty much most of you younger guys use your phone to do everything. So.
That's funny.
But so we'll change the font. We'll make sure Gilly and I and whoever else is saying it. What if we are going to change any game modes or not? Get that updated, and then I'll get that sent out to the owners of the other fields. Vic in New Jersey said a couple of his guys showed interest last year, but just again for them, they couldn't get off work because of time of year. So maybe we'll get some guys from New Jersey this year, which would be really awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
More people to learn from. Like,
Yep.
you go
Exactly.
to any other field, you learn some stuff. Anyways, that's a topic for another day. We've done that enough. If
Yeah.
you want to stick around for the 7-day, feel free. But I think we're gonna go ahead and move on to that here. We always do the
All right,
7-day
cool.
leaderboard at the end.
Yeah, I'll jump off and just do the regular listening thing. And thanks, guys, for doing this. Really do appreciate you guys keeping the information out there and keeping everybody up to speed on what's going on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining us this week.
All right, guys. Talk to you later. Have a good one.
Later.
Yep. Thanks. Let's see who we got this week. Oh, God. Coming in at number 1 is Gamoto. Cool.
Find out how many deaths he had.
I could do the math. I'll pull up my calculator while I lead down the list. All right, so number 1, we have Gamoto. Number 2, Sniper 17, Killer of the Criers. Number 4 is Quicks, Watch Your Flank, Nate, 6s and 7s, Mac 20, Live for the Moment, Stinger, Mama 82, Glue Eater, Speed Mains, O2 Cam, Max on there twice again, and Ice Bear 8.
God, Mac, you're just so cool. No. So big players I'm noticing here is okay, we can say Tom's the top. Cool. Tom played a lot this week. I think he said 12 sessions. I think 4, 6, and 6, something like that. 4, whatever.
Oh my God. Hang on, I'm going to stop you there. Tom died a grand total of 853 times this weekend. Good job, Tom.
Yo, he pressed the hell out of that button. Let's go.
That's a lot.
So cool. Okay. Otherwise, Killer of the Criers has his eagle. We missed that last week, so that's cool. Whatever the hell that means. It's a second account for Woodland, if you don't know that already. He has his eagle already, so we smashed up there. Watch Your Flanks on there again. He's been playing a lot more. Finn's going on a tear.
True. Nate got his 3rd star. It's almost the reality is almost here. 4-star Nate almost exists.
It is this universe, guys. We're here. We've arrived at it. Stinger, after not playing very consistently, has started playing pseudo consistently, and so now he has his Eagle. Looks like it's Eagle 1 or Eagle 7. I can't tell with this resolution.
It's 1.
He's on here at 10. Yo, nice.
Moving down the list, Mama is staying consistent, always up there. Luis is normally up there, so we got him back. Speed Means coming in for his first week. Welcome to the top 15, Speed Means. Good to have you.
Yeah, I like Marcus. He's cool. He fits my personality really well, and I want to do more things around him. But he's out of the mosquito wings. He averages about like a KDR of 1.0, so he's progressing to 1.37. So good job, Marcus. Yeah. Yeehaw.
02 Cam's on there, and then number 15 squeaking in there is Ice Bear.
Yeah, Ice Bear. Ice Bear is a CMP player. He's rather quiet, but I really enjoy having him around. I don't know his first name yet, but I recognize his face every time he plays. I think he's left-handed too.
Probably. All these weird lefties. We've got a lot of weird lefties now. Y'all are weird.
Yeah. Y'all are weird. You killed the hell out of me. Yeah. Cool, ladies and gentlemen. Awesome stuff. Anything else you wanted to add?
I don't think so.
I know what it is.
What do you got? What do you got?
So there's a couple things. First of all, we're doing a giveaway.
Oh, yes. I did need to talk about this. All right. Yeah. So not this week, but next week, Wednesday, after the podcast, we will be doing another giveaway. Well, it's not after the podcast. I'll announce it during the podcast. But we will be doing 2 more free passes as a giveaway. And I'm going to be selecting random elements among the top 15. So what I might do is I might say whoever has the 5th or the 2nd lowest KDR and like the 2nd highest kill streak, I will give a free pass to those players. So the only prerequisite you need to meet in order to possibly win yourself a free session is to get on the top 15, and then hopefully one of your stats will match what I'm going to select.
I want it to be something really stupid, like you said earlier, like the worst KDR possible. And like I think Tommy made that joke where it's like, okay, I could do that, but it looks like he's got a 1.92. Like that's already pretty good, I guess, for dying 900 times. That's nice. So it's gonna be hard for him to do, I guess. Other random weird stuff, lowest kill streak, for example. I don't know how you do really low kills per minute. That might be really hard to do, but find a weird stat and go for it. It'd be funny.
I also might just say whoever gets 5th on the leaderboard. I don't know. I've got a bunch of options here. I'm going to be pretty creative with it. But 2 of you will be getting a free pass next week, so try your hardest to meet some weird stat goal.
I think what I'd like to do is have a live wheel spin on stream next week, and you just spin the wheel, pick whatever one it is. We'll have a bunch of random options it could be.
Oh, I could do that. We could do that. All right.
So your chance at glory is next week.
All right. In that case, that brings us to the end of episode 13 of the Point Gremlins podcast. Thank you for everybody for tuning in this week, and there was a lot of you that tuned in this week. Thank you very much for that. I think we peaked out at about 20, which is really cool to see. You guys are very active in the Discord, so please stay that way. We're going to keep posting things in there, as well as league information, general information, as well as the giveaway information, so make sure to stay up to date on that. That being said, James, any final thoughts before we head out of here?
Discord link is scrolling a little bit down if you guys are watching us on Twitch. Otherwise, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that rank 45 should be called Eagles or Wings? Ladies and gentlemen, have a nice night. See you next week.
The fuck? Yeah, alright, whatever. Stream's ended.
James, they're bullying me. James, they're bullying me.
Hey guys, welcome back to the vlog. Today we're going to be going to that battle place for laser tag. We have Toby here. We have Toby here. I'm obviously the guy.
Just keep it going.
That's Mr. Dad. That's okay. Well, he doesn't like you. That's Mr. Claymore. That was his name given by birth.
I'm here too.
Oh my God.
He hates me.
This is Jerry Scott. some might even call him Jarathan, Scathaniel. Yeah. So we're gonna go shoot some people with the lasers and meet you guys in the next